Welcome to Toy Polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from Toy Polloi. Now, a couple of years back I was sent a couple of Action Man figures by my good friend Uncle He-Man, asking me if I could restore them, and having done that restoration I got hooked on the toy that I'd had so many of as a child and didn't have any of in my collection at the moment. So since then I've been buying quite a few of them and restoring them, and if you've been watching my channel you'll have seen quite a few of my restorations as I've been working on building up my collection. And today I thought I'd take you through the figures that I currently have on display here at Toy Polloi. So in front of me, first of all, we have the Talking Commander and a selection of basic soldiers. Now this was something I had quite a few of as a child, the Talking Commander especially, and these are the first ones that I sort of wanted to get in my collection. Now obviously the Talking Commander, if we pull his cord here, he talks, so that's quite a good gimmick. And if you were collecting Action Man, the most easy figure to get, or the one that you sort of most commonly got as a child, is the basic soldier, and it came in a box like this one here. Now I did have a couple in my collection, and then very kindly Tony from Analog Toys sent me a lovely box of bits, and he gave me another one, as you can see here. And there's something special about this, not only the fact that it came from Tony, but the fact that this is actually an Australian release version of Action Man. The figure itself is basically the same, but the clothes are made by a company called Toy, so they're slightly different. You can see they're a slightly different shade of green, and the sort of quality of the fabric is different, and the sort of way the hat is made is slightly different. So this one is staying sort of as it is and as Tony sent it to me, just because it's slightly different to the other couple that I have here. So let's move on to some of the other figures in my collection. Another outfit that I really remember having as a child is the SAS outfit. I can even remember going and buying it. So this was another one that I really wanted to have in my collection quite early on. Now this one on the right is actually a 40th anniversary sort of reissue of the outfit. I wasn't really sure at the time how I was going to sort of go about collecting, and I wanted to get this one, so it was a pretty cheap way of getting the outfit. I think I ended up paying about £15 for it, and actually as a reproduction it's not too bad. But since I've sort of got more into collecting, I've also picked up an original version of the outfit here. You can see it's a little bit more sort of battered around the edges and some of it's frayed, but it is an original one, and that sort of suits my collection a bit more. I do prefer the sort of vintage type stuff, although the reproductions are actually pretty good, and you'd be hard pushed to tell sometimes what's modern and what's not. The main way of telling is the fact that the original ones have a made by Polloi little sort of tab in the back of the costume, whereas the 40th anniversary ones don't have that. But as you can see, they do look pretty good, and I was going to swap this one out for another outfit, but I actually just sort of quite like it, and it's nice having a couple of these on display. Next up we have a couple of tank commanders. Now as a child I do remember having this one with the brown coat, but when I started collecting I happened across this one with the sort of darker blue leather jacket, so I thought I'd try and rebuild that one as well. So far I've got most bits for the original one. In fact I think he's pretty much complete apart from a little bit of cabling missing from his headphones, and this one is just a sort of kit bash at the moment. I've still got a few little bits to find, like he has the wrong hat on. He's got the sort of Talking Commander's hat, and he has the wrong rifle, but he does look quite nice sort of as is. And I do quite like sort of kit bashing these things, not having quite the right bits of outfits for them. But this one is as I remember it as a child, and this is one I'm sort of working on, and I'll probably swap the outfit out at some point for something else, but for the moment this is what is on display here. Another absolute favourite of mine as a child is the Parachute Regiment uniform, and this was another early one that I added to my collection. I was going to try and sort of piece it together from little bits, but in the end I just went out and bought the whole thing in one go, because there's so many little things that go with this outfit, and so many things that can be missing, like the little knife here that has the little holster to it, and the gun. It's a very nice outfit, and I think the hardest part to get is these little bits of fabric that go around his ankles. I think those always seem to be missing. So buying this outfit just to sort of in one go was the easiest way to do it for me. I actually do have another couple of versions of this outfit that I'm trying to sort of rebuild so that I can have a few of these on display, but at the moment they're missing so many pieces. This is the only guy that I have sort of out and about. Now we can move on to some of the space outfits. Now space was obviously a big part of my childhood, and hence why I collect an awful lot of Star Wars and other space toys. So there's a few space things that have been added to my Action Man collection already. We have here on the right the sort of Mercury astronaut outfit. Now this again is actually a 40th anniversary edition of the outfit, because I've not been able to find a vintage one sort of in good enough condition that I wanted to add. They're all pretty worn. The silver outfits tend to really sort of perish over the years, so this 40th 40th one is in lovely sort of minty condition because obviously it's never been played with, and I actually thought that it was a pretty good sort of recreation of the original outfit. And again, it's much cheaper to buy that than buying an original one, but I do hope to swap that out for an original version at some point. So far all I've got originally is the little sort of propellant gun thing here, and even that's missing some pieces, hasn't been repaired, but at some point I'll swap that out for a sort of an all original one. Then we come on to Captain Zargon, who is a really weird looking character, but again one I actually had as a child and absolutely loved. So I've been trying to finish this guy off. He's incredibly hard to find complete because he has a little green visor which is missing here and a gun. So for the moment I've just got this loose one missing those two bits, but again it's something that I'll sort of finish off in time. And then finally from my space set we have the talking Space Ranger Commander. Now again, Tony from Analog Toys actually sent me the sort of body section of this figure. It was a ex sort of factory stock that had never been used, and I thought I would try and rebuild him in time. He's coming on, he's still missing the jumpsuit. The jumpsuit is actually an SAS jumpsuit at the moment because it's the last piece that I need to find, but every other part of him is now original. So just one more bit to get and then that guy is complete, and he does all work, which is why it's really nice to have him. I think if I find his little pull cord, as you can see here, and pull that, he's going in. So it's another nice figure, and the sort of talking action really works quite well on him. Now a while back I was sent a very nice donation box full of uniforms and bits, and one of the uniforms in that was this German stormtrooper outfit, and it's an outfit I'd never had before as a child, but as soon as I put it on a figure I thought it looked amazing. It's really high quality, lots of detail in it, so this is one that I've kept sort of on display from that big box of stuff just because it looked so cool. A lot of the other bits are still sort of packed away and I do swap them out from time to time, but this outfit just looks amazing to me. So much detail in it, and really sort of superb quality for a toy of its time. And once I'd seen that outfit, I was doing a quick bit of searching online and I found someone else had put the same German outfit onto the Captain Zargon figure. And as soon as I saw that, I thought it just reminded me of the Herogen from the Star Trek Voyager series, and it just looks excellent. So I made a point of finding another Captain Zargon. This one was missing all of his bits and sort of components, but by the time you put the German Stormtrooper outfit on him, he looks amazing. It's something sort of out of a sci-fi movie, especially if you've watched Star Trek Voyager. You'll know exactly what I mean when I say he does look like an Herogen officer ready on the holodeck. So that's one thing I just have on display because I think it looks pretty cool. Another figure you'll have seen me restore in one of my many Fix-It videos is Atomic Man, who's a sort of bit of an Action Man spin-off. He is basically an Action Man but has a few extra features, like he's got this sort of bionic arm and he's also got a bionic leg, which you can see here. And if you undo his jumpsuit, you'll see that he's also got an atomic heart, which if we press the button he clicks. And this was a bit of an odd figure that I don't think I'd really sort of registered before, but once I started collecting Action Man, saw that this figure existed, I knew I had to get it just because it was a sort of strange mix of the sort of Japanese Henshin Cyborg and the Action Man toys. So it's another one that I just had to add to my collection. Another childhood favourite of mine which I had to add to my collection is the helicopter pilot with the Turbocopter addition added onto the back of him. This was something I'd had as a child that I really remembered playing with a lot. It's a pretty cool playset. Not only does the helicopter pilot outfit look good, the Turbocopter is a great sort of toy that you can sort of make the blades spin around, although as it says on the box it doesn't actually fly, it just looks pretty cool. So this was something that I just had to add to my collection. It's a pretty common figure to find, the outfit is not that rare, and the Turbocopter is a very easy one to find, but if you've ever had this toy and played with it, you just have to try and get this one just to add to your collection because it's such a cool toy to play with. And here we have a couple of donation figures. Now this guy on the right, the Drunken Sailor, was one that was donated to me in a box of other bits, including the Deep Sea Diver and Seawolf, which I've previously restored and then sort of sold off for charity. This was a stowaway in that box, and I had such fun restoring him, I decided to actually keep this one. He's not in amazing condition, he has damage to his chest, he's still got a few marks on his face, but I just really enjoyed getting him looking as good as he does now, so I've just wanted to keep him in my my collection. And then we have the Royal Marines Explorer guy on the left, which was sent to me again by Tony from Analog Toys. He was actually not in bad condition, the one that Tony sent to me. I fixed his hat, and I've been trying to find a few of the missing outfit pieces to just try and complete him, because that was really the only problems with him. So I sort of found the extra little that's a little radio set, and then some other bits and bobs. There's still a few more bits to go on that one, but as it was a gift to me, he's a real special toy, and I do like having that one on display here. And finally we come on to the sort of end part of my collection. These two guys on the left are the ones that I use sort of for filming and stunt purposes, or just generally mucking about with. They're in pretty bad condition, but there's something about the way they look that really sort of I find quite charming. The guy in the middle I call Pinhead, because as you can see, at some point a child has pushed pins into his head and his ears, and that he's no good for much else, but the fact that he has this damage, actually, I don't know, something makes me like him even more, the fact he's so damaged. And again, we have another guy, this guy on the left here. This is one I call Chewy. His eyes don't work particularly well. They insist on looking one to one side. No matter how you push them, they always rotate back, and someone has chewed his nose, so I thought Chewy was quite a good name for him. But he's perfectly good for sort of mucking around with and doing bits of photography and filming, so he gets quite a lot of action and messing about with here at Toy Polloi. And then finally, this is the outfit that I'm trying to rebuild at the moment. It's one I sort of only just been reminded of, which is the sort of motorbike police officer's outfit. So this is a figure I've just started trying to sort of get the full outfit for. So far I've got a few bits. He's missing his belt and his scarf and his helmet, but it's a sort of early stages of me collecting a new outfit to go on display. And when I collect an outfit like this, it does take me quite a while, because I don't really want to go out and sort of spend huge amounts of money on bits. So I just hope to find odd bits here and there and be able to pick them and sort of add them slowly to my collection, which is why a lot of the other bits I've shown you have little pieces missing, because over the years I will find them. I'm in no massive rush to sort of finish this. To me, collecting is a sort of long-term hobby, and as I find bits, they get added to my collection, and if I find better bits, I can swap them out as I go. And here, just about squeezed onto my filming area, is my entire collection of Action Man. I think it comprises 20 figures, and to be honest, that's probably all I'm going to get figure-wise. There are a few more outfits I would like to get. As you can see, I do have quite a lot of the figures wearing the basic soldier outfit, so I think some of those will be swapped out into other uniforms in future. But for now, this is what I have on display, and I'm really pleased with how great they look. I do like the fact that they all have slightly different sort of eye positions. Some of them look a bit wonky, and some of them look a bit mad, and some of them are a bit battered around the edges, but that really is what this toy is all about. It's a toy that's been played with a lot and really sort of well loved, and it's a great sort of toy to have in any collection. So I hope you've enjoyed my little sort of show through of the figures that I have, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching Toy Polloi. Subscribe for more great videos.